Welcome to this VRpatients training video on Case Logic. In this video, we'll be talking about dialogue trees, how to use Case Logic to create a conversation or interview with our patient. In this video, we will demonstrate how to use Case Logic to turn questions on and off, how to create a follow-up question or questions after a treatment, and how to use questions as a command. To turn questions on and off, first you will go to the Questions tab in the Authoring tool and select or enter the questions that you will use in your case. You will also enter the answers the patients will provide. Next, use the power buttons to select the question or questions that will be available to the student or user as they begin the case. Then in your Case Logic, use the action of asking a question to enable a question that has previously been turned off. The single action of asking one question may be used to enable multiple questions. A question about health history may trigger questions about medications and allergies. A question on pain may be used to trigger more questions, allowing the student or user to evaluate the pain. Repeat this process until all questions have been made available to the student or user. To remove a question from the student or user's list, in a separate area of your Case Logic window, create an action when a question is asked and connect it to the effect of Disable Question, and then select the same question for each node. Repeat this process for all your questions. You can then use a frame or a group to identify those areas in your Case Logic. To create follow-up questions after a treatment. This can be helpful in numerous situations: treating shock, hypoglycemia, or in this example, an asthma patient that's been given a nebulized treatment of albuterol. The physiological effects of the medication treatment are worked out elsewhere in Case Logic. We begin with the action of the medication administration that leads to a check. Conditions in this check are the SpO2 rate above 92 and the respiration rate below 12. If one or both of these conditions are not met, it feeds into a 2-second timer and right back to the check. This loop will continue until both conditions have been met. At that time, the follow-up questions are enabled and will appear for the student or user. It is important that you place a time in the timer, not leaving it at 0. To use a question as a command. We accomplish this by using an action node. When the question is asked, "Ben, will you lay down on the stretcher?" we run it through a short timer and into an effect node that changes the behavior and the position of our patient. We hope that you have found this video helpful.